Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Before we get a look at the weather, we have some election results we'd like to share. Last night's runoff elections in Arkansas saw Jimmy Fincher beat Eddie Wakefield in the race for the mayor of Alma. Now, you see it right here. Fincher beat Wakefield by almost 200 votes. Fincher will replace current mayor Jerry Martin, who failed to get enough votes to even advance to a runoff in this race. Now, in Bella Vista, City Council member John Flynn wins the election to be the city's next mayor. He defeats Randy Murray with 52.5% of all the votes there. And in Scott County, Sheriff Randy Shores has won re-election over Clint McPherson. You see those numbers as well. Shores got 51.8% of the votes, winning by just over 50 votes versus Clint McPherson's 48.2%. If you'd like to know more about the races where you live, you can download the free 5 News app or just go to 5newsonline.com. All right, now let's get a check of that weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. Zach, it looks like more rain in the forecast.
Yeah, and again, overall, the last week, we've had some rounds of light precipitation. Now we're going to have our best chance for some steadier rain to move in as we go, especially into Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning. Scattered shower chances overall going to try to increase, and they'll be slow about doing it. But from south to north as we go through your Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, highs generally in the upper 50s to low 60s. And again, the best chance for a shower to start the day through the morning hours, early afternoon, south of I-40. Northwest Arkansas rain chances increase as we go late afternoon, especially evening and overnight. That's when we could see some rounds of heavy rain, especially for parts of Northwest Arkansas, even some rumbles of thunder, though no severe weather is anticipated. Walk you through future track radar again. The best chance for rain through the morning, early afternoon hours is going to be near south of I-40. Some scattered showers, some patchy drizzle. Can't roll out a sprinkle to the north, but overall rain chances increase as we go late afternoon, evening. We'll see some scattered shower chances shifting further north, lingering shower, hit or miss rain, some patchy drizzle off towards the south. And then we'll watch for a band of some moderate rainfall. Going to try to move in out of Oklahoma here. Pretty steady. Could give you an additional inch wherever this band of rain sets up. We think it'll be more northwest Arkansas. That'll continue overnight. Again, nothing severe anticipated, and that'll linger into Thursday morning. Some lingering showers for our morning commute. And then we'll overall look for some drier air to start shifting in with a lingering isolated shower chance off towards the southeast in the early afternoon hours on Thursday. Overall, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall looking like a good bet. Could get a few locally higher amounts. Overall, not worried about a flash flooding threat. We'll have to watch some of that heavy rain to the north. Again, some minor flooding in low-lying, poor drainage areas that typically see the water come up during some heavy rain events. We could see that. Again, widespread flooding not anticipated, Joe.
So now back to some of your top headlines. Randall Worcester, do you remember him? The man whose violent arrest was caught on video. He's now been charged in Crawford County with making a threat against a store clerk. Worcester was charged with first-degree terroristic threatening, battery in the second degree, resisting arrest, possession of an instrument of crime, and obstructing governmental operations. Also disorderly conduct. Those charges were filed last week. Meanwhile, the Washington County Jail is looking for its next healthcare provider after the arrest of Dr. Rob Karras, who has made headlines for his handling of COVID-19 cases. Earlier this year, the ACLU sued Karras on behalf of 4 inmates who accuse him of giving them the controversial drug ivermectin without their consent. Sheriff-elect Jay Cantrell says Karras's looming departure stemmed from a spike in the cost of malpractice insurance unrelated to the lawsuit. According to Cantrell, the cost of Karras's coverage is set to go from $125,000 to $650,000. Well, over in Johnson, we're hearing from the county sheriff for the first time since his arrest over the weekend after state police say they found drugs and guns during a traffic stop in Crawford County. Now, in his statement, the Johnson County Sheriff Jimmy Stevens says he will continue to do certain functions as sheriff, but his chief deputy will manage the day-to-day operations. He goes on to say, quote, "It is my full expectation and hope and prayer that these matters will be resolved promptly and that I will return to running the sheriff's office in Johnson County and all of its divisions and activities." Now, Stevens also offered an apology to the citizens and employees of Johnson County. He says due to the embarrassment caused by his arrest. Stevens is charged with 3 separate counts of possession of a controlled substance and possession of drugs and firearms, as well as speeding. Stevens was bonded out of jail over the weekend, and he is due in court on Monday. You can read more about the case and get his full statement from the sheriff. Just visit our website, 5newsonline.com. Well, the city treasurer of the small Sebastian County town of Bonanza is in hot water once again. Lori Denham is accused of embezzling tens of thousands of dollars from the city. Denham is also the daughter of the mayor of Bonanza. According to the mayor, this is the second time that she's been accused of embezzling funds. But this time, we're talking about more than $38,000. 5 News reporter Micah Wilson has the latest.
Now, that affidavit states an audit of the city of Bonanza found discrepancies with information given to them by Denham. Auditors say that bank statements did not match city documents Denham provided, showing how she spent city money between 2018 and this year. And on Friday, state lawmakers questioned the mayor of Bonanza during a legislative joint auditing session. They asked about his daughter being accused of embezzling money from the city more than once.
The fact that she got found guilty, admitted to that, and then you allowed her to stay there, and you can blame it on the city council all you want. You're the mayor, you're her father, and then she defrauded the people of your city again. You're responsible for that as much as she is, sir, and that's unacceptable as an elected official.
Michael Wilson, 5 News.
All right, thanks, Micah. Now, according to auditors, another $178,000 are unaccounted for. However, those are not directly tied to Denham. She was arrested Monday and charged with a felony count of property theft. Denham will be arraigned at 9 a.m. today. If convicted, she could pay up to a $15,000 fine or spend between 5 and 20 years in prison. Now, despite these recent crimes, Washington County is still working hard to keep those in prison safe and healthy through resolutions to give American Rescue Plan Act dollars to the Washington County Jail, passed in a Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Collectively, the Washington County Budget and Committee agreed to the use of nearly $20 million in ARPA funds for the jail. Ordinance 10 would give $750,000 in ARPA funds to help with jail maintenance, updating the jail's HVAC systems, and 185 security cameras. The Arkansas Justice Reform Coalition thinks the maintenance is needed, but says they don't think it qualifies for ARPA use. Sheriff-elect Jay Cantrell argues the cameras will help with COVID-19 contact tracing. Now let's talk about Ordinance 20. That would give almost $9 million in ARPA funding to add more jail beds.
That allows us to separate inmates into smaller groups so that we don't have 14 inmates that are exposed to COVID taking up a 32-man cell.
Now, you may remember last month, voters rejected a sales tax to fund the jail. Sheriff-elect Cantrell says last night's ordinances had nothing to do with that, as they've been planning this since September. The full quorum court is expected to vote on those ordinances December 15th. Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more.